Hello students, how are you? Students, on the behalf of the TCT teams, I welcome all of you on the platform of the CAT tutorials. Students, in CAT 2020 and in CAT 2021, the weightage of the arithmetic is so high. That's why for the preparation for preparing the CAT 2022, right now we are going to discuss one of the important topic, and the name of that important topic is the average. When we go through the previous year question papers of the CAT 2020 and CAT 2021, yeah, in other words, you can say that if we are going through the previous year questions from 2015, then there are so many questions from the average topics we have seen in the CAT exams. So right now I'm going to discuss the first question, and especially in this topic, in this class, I will provide you the better approach how you can solve such type of the questions in the examination hall. So see the first question of this slide, and the first question is, I have taken this question from the CAT 2021, and this one is a very good questions. You can see that the difficulty level of this question is at the average level. So at first, right now I'm going to read the questions to all of you. Then after that, I will discuss this question. So the question is, onion is sold for 5 consecutive months at the rate of rupees 10, rupees 20, rupees 25, again rupees 25 and 50 per kg respectively. A family spends a fixed amount of money on onion for each of the first 3 months. Okay, so it is given in the question, family spend fixed amount of money on onion for each of the months of the first 3 months, then it spends half the amount on onion for each of the next 2 months. The average expense for onion in rupees per kg for the family over these 5 months is closest to. So all of you have to find the average expense for onion in rupees per kg for the family over these 5 months is closest to. So students, whenever we have such type of the questions, the way in which you have started the question, that plays very important role. If you are using any variables, then it is difficult to manage the time. But if we are using any numbers, then on the basis of the numbers, you can manage the time. So here we have to find the average expenses for the onion. So we have to assume how much amount we are spending, and by that amount, how many kg we can purchase during that month. So the given numbers are 10, 20, 25, 25 and 50. So we can easily calculate just what we can assume that if the amount of money, if we are talking about the amount of money per month. So what we can write, amount of money per month, we can write this one equal to how much, this one equal to rupees 100. So in the first month, the rate is rupees 10. So the number of kilos, yeah, you can see that the number of quantities of the respective month, number of quantities of the during the respective month. In the first month, we can purchase 100 upon 10, that means 10 kg. In the second month, we can purchase 100 upon 20, it means we can purchase 5 kg. In the third month, we can purchase 100 upon 25, that is equal to 4 kg. But again, it is given in the question, then it spends half the amount on onion for the next 2 months. So for the next 2 months, we don't have to take rupees 100. We have to take rupees 50 for the next 2 months. So by the help of rupees 50, we can purchase only 2 kg in the 4th month, and we can purchase only 1 kg during the last month. So the total quantities is how much? The total quantities is 10 plus 5 plus 4 plus 1. This one equal to how much? This one equal to 22. So required average expenses, right now we can calculate the required average expenses. So if we have to calculate the required average expenses, so this one equal to how much? So at first we have to take the total amount of expenses. So the total amount of the expenses is how much? This one is the 100. So the total amount of the expenses is 3 into how much? 3 into 100 plus in the next 2 months 2 into how much? 2 into 50. This one is divided by how much? This one is divided by 22. When we will solve this, this one is closest to the 18. So we can see that which option is the answer. First option is the answer of the question. So students, such type of the question is very much frequent in the CAT exams, and only you have to understand in what way you can initiate the questions. And if we are knowing such steps, then definitely by applying such type of the methods, we can manage our time, we can minimize our time. Okay, students, then right now I'm going to give you the next question. So see the next question, and again, whenever we are talking about the next question, then again, I have taken the next question from the CAT 2021. This one is the actual question of the CAT 2021. Previous questions was also I had taken from the CAT 2021. This one is again the actual questions of the CAT 2021. So see, what is the question? At first, I'm going to read the question to all of you. In a football tournament, a player has played a certain number of matches and 10 more matches are to be played. So still we have to play 10 more matches. If he scores a total of 1 goal over the next 10 matches, his overall average will be 0.15 goals per match. On the other hand, if he scores a total of 2 goals over the next 10 matches, his overall scores will be 0.2 goals per match. The number of matches he has played is. So we have to find the number of matches he has played each. And the pattern, the type of this question is the theta. This one is very common term, especially for the CAT exams. The meaning of theta is type in, type answer. It means we don't have any options. You have to write your answers in the boxes. So see, how can you solve such type of the question? So this one is a logical question. Other than the general calculation, we can get the answer of this question by applying the logic. So what is the difference? How can we apply the logic? So if we are scoring 1 goal, then the average will be 0.15 goals. And on the other hand, if he scores 2 goals over the next 10 matches, his average will be 0.2 goals. So what is the meaning of this? By 1 goal. So if we are writing by 1 goal, the average is increased by how much? The average is increases by 0.5. 0.5 minus 0.15. This one equal to how much? This one equal to 0.05. This one is the increase in the average. It is given in the increase in average. So the number of matches, what we can say that the number of matches will be how much? The number of matches will be how much? We can write this one equal to 1 upon how much? 0.05. So when we will solve this, it is equal to how much? It is equal to 20. So 20 is the total number of matches. So the number of match he has played is. So what is the meaning of this? So if the number of matches, required number of matches is X. So required number of matches will be how much? 20 is the total number of matches, and still we have to play the 10 matches. So if we have to find the number of matches he has already played, that means we have to take the difference of 20 and 10. The answer of your question is 10. So see students, this one is the level of the CAT exams. And again, it is my suggestion to all of you, if you want to prepare yourself, then for the CAT, then all of you are welcome under the banner of the CAT tutorials, and you may read our slogan, preparing you for tomorrow. So if you want to feel comfortable, if you want to prepare yourself for the tomorrow, then definitely you must have to come in the CAT tutorials. So see students, right now I'm going to give you the next question. See, the next question is, again, this one is a very good question. At first, I'm going to read this question for all of you. Then after that, I will solve this question. The question is, the average score in an examination of 10 students of a class is 60. If the scores of the top 5 students are not considered, the average score of the remaining students falls by 5. The pass marks was 40 and the maximum mark was 100. Okay, student, it is given in the question, the pass marks was 40 and the maximum marks was 100. It is also known that none of the students failed if each of the top 5 scorers had distinct integral scores. So students, all of you have to concentrate on these words. If each of the top 5 scorers had distinct integral scores, the maximum possible scores of the topper is, we have to find the maximum possible scores of the topper is. So again, this one is a logical question. And again, you can say that this one is a very good question based on the average level difficulty. So students, how can you solve this? The average score in an examination of the 10 students of a class is 60. So right now we can write the total score. The total score is how much? The total score, it is equal to how much? It is equal to 10 into 60. So 10 into 60, that is equal to how much? That is equal to 600. If the scores of the top 5 students are not considered, the average score of the remaining students falls by 5. So right now we can write the total score of the lowest 5. So we can write the total score of lowest 5. So lowest score or lowest 5. So how can you write the total score of the lowest 5? So if the average is falls down by 5, then the average will be how much? 55. And in 55, we have to multiply this by 55 into 5. That is equal to how much? That is equal to 275. Then after that, so if we have got the total score of the lowest 5, then we can calculate the total score of the top 5. Total score of top 5. So the total score of top 5 will be how much? It will be equal to 600 minus how much? 600 minus 275. So this one equal to how much? This one equal to 325. So we have to find the maximum possible scores of the topper. So we can get the maximum possible scores of the topper only when we can keep the remaining 4 students at their minimum level. So if we can keep them at their minimum level, so we can get the maximum possible score. So how can you calculate the required maximum possible score? If we have to calculate the required maximum possible score, it will be equal to, out of the 325, we have to subtract the next the score of the remaining 4 students, and we have to keep the score of these 4 students at the minimum level. So we have to subtract 56 plus 57 plus 58. Why we are taking 56? Because the average is the lowest, the average of the lowest 5 is the 55. So for keeping the top 5 at the top 4 at the lowest level, we have to take all the lowest are equal at the level of 55. That's why we have taken 56 plus 57 plus 58 plus 59. So when we will solve this, it will give you the answer, and the answer of your question is how much? 95. So if 95 is the answer of the question, so which one is the correct answer? Option D is the correct answer of the question. So students, again, I am suggesting you, CAT is nothing. It depends on your determination. If you have planned yourself in a well-mannered, in a strategy, then definitely you can crack the CAT, and definitely you can see your name in a very good BA school. So see, after the third question, right now I'm going to give you the 4th question. See which one is the 4th question. Again, this one is very good question, and again, all of you have to understand how can you get the answer of this question. So at first, I'm going to read this question to all of you. See what is the question. The question is, in a class of 5 students, average weight of the 4 lightest students is 40 kg. Okay, it is given in the question in a class of 5 students. Average weight of the 4 lightest students is the 40 kg. Average weight of the 4 heaviest student is the 45 kg. 4 heaviest student is the 45 kg. What is the difference between the maximum and minimum possible average weight overall? So we have to find the difference between the maximum and minimum possible average weight overall. So how can you find the average weight? So for finding the answer of this question, this one is very good question. So for finding the answer of this question, we are just assuming the name of the 5 students. So suppose the name of the first student is A. The name of the second student is B. The name of the third student is C. The name of the fourth student is D. The name of the fifth student is E. It is okay. So it is understood that A is the lightest student and E is the heaviest student. So what is given in the question? The average weight of the 4 lightest student is 40. And the average weight. So if we have to represent the average weight of this, so can we write this total is 4 lightest student is 4 into 40 plus E. This one is the weight of the all students. On the other hand, the average weight of the 4th heaviest student is 45 kg. So on the other hand, we can write E plus 4 into how much? 4 into 45. So students, it shows the weight of the total students. So definitely we can equate them. So if we can equate them, so what we can write, the further equation is equal to how much? Equal to A plus 20. So what we can say that the weight of A is 20 kg more than the A. But the question is, we have to find the difference between the maximum and minimum possible average weight overall. So if we have to find the maximum and minimum possible average weight, so see, when we can get the maximum possible average, so if we have to find the maximum possible average, so see, if we have to find the maximum possible average, then how can you get the maximum possible average? We can get the maximum possible average for this, and this one is the minimum point. This one is the maximum average and this one is the minimum average. So how can you get the minimum average? We have to think and how we can get the maximum average. So if we have to find the minimum average, maximum average, it means we have to maximize A. And if we have to maximize A, it means we have to maximize A. So if for the maximum average, we have to maximize A. So we can get the maximum A, the value of the A is the 40. So for maximizing the average, we have to keep all the 4 at the level of the 40, and we have to keep E at the level of 60. This one is divided by how much? This one is divided by 5. So this will become 220 divided by 5. So when we have 220 divided by 5, that is equal to how much? That is equal to 44. Right now we have to find the minimum average. So how can you find the minimum average? So we can find the minimum average by keeping E at the minimum level. So if we have to keep E at the minimum level, so for this we have to minimize E, and we can take 45 as a minimum value of E. So if E is at the 45, so A will be how much? 25. And again this one equal to 45 plus 45 plus 45. So by doing this, we can take E at the minimum level. So if we can take E at the minimum level, again, this one is divided by 5. So when we have to divide this by 5, this one equal to 205. 205 upon 5. So when we will divide this, that is equal to 41. So the question is, we have to find the difference between the maximum and minimum possible average. So if we have to find the minimum and possible average, so the required difference is how much? The required difference is 44 minus 41. The answer of your question is how much? The answer of your question is 3. So which option is the answer? Third option. Option C is the answer of the question. So students, again, it is my suggestion. Average is one of the favorite topic for the CAT exams, and especially in the CAT exams, we have so many questions which have the traditional concept and which have the logical concept. So especially in the average, we have to apply the logical concept, and by applying such methods, we can get the answer of the questions. So see, right now, I am going to discuss the last question. So see, what is the last question of the today's class? So see the last question, and this one is my last question. The question is, the average goals scored by 15 selected players in EPL is 60. Okay, EPL is the name of a tournament. So average goals scored by 15 selected players in EPL is 60. The maximum number of goals scored by a player is 20, and minimum is how much? Minimum is 12. The goals scored by the players is between 12 and 20. Okay, the goals scored by the players is between 12 and 20. What can be the maximum number of players? What can be the maximum number of players who scored at least 18 goals? We have to find who scored at least 18 goals. So see, how can you get the answer of this question? So again, this one is a very good logical question, and all of you have to understand this. How can you get the answer of this question? So see, the question is, we have to find the average goals scored by 15 selected players is 16. So can we calculate the total number of goals? So total number of goals. This one equal to how much? This one equal to 15 into 16. That is equal to how much? That is equal to 240. The maximum number of goals scored by the player is 20. So definitely one player has scored the goal of 20. And definitely one more players has to score a total of 12. That's why we can say that the minimum goal is 12 and the maximum is 20. Again, it is given that the average is how much? The average is 16. So if we have to make the average of 16, so see, what can be the maximum number of players who can at least 18 goals? So for maximizing the number of players, we have to concentrate on exactly 18. So if we are pairing 18 and again 18, so their average is how much? The average is the 16. So how can you get the average of 16? For 2, 18, 18, we have to make a pair of 12. So here what we have, the average is how much? 16, and the number of players is how much? The number of players is 3. So average is 16, and the total goals is the how much? Total goals is the 48. Again, we can make how many possibility we can form 4 times of this. So if we can form 4 times of this, so the total number of goal is 48 into 4. So 48 into 4, that is equal to how much? That is equal to 192. Out of the 192 here, how many players we have included? We have taken the 12 players. So when we count this, the number of players is the 12. And again, when number of players is the 12, when we add the goals of these two, that means how much? Plus 32. So if we have the 20 plus this plus 32, it will give you the 4. It will give you how much? It will give you the 2 and 224. So the goal made by the last player. So if we have to count the goal made by the last player, goal scored by the last player, scored by the last player, So we can write this one equal to 240 minus how much? 224. That is equal to how much? That is equal to 16. So if we have to count the required number of players, so the answer will be how much? Required number of players. We have already taken one player has already scored the 20. And in 20, we have to add these 4 players. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So the answer will be how much? Answer will be 8 plus 1. So the answer of your question is the 9. So which option is the answer of the question? Option C is the answer of the question. Okay, students. So by doing such type of the methods, definitely we can get the fast answer, and all of you have to do the practice for getting the fast answer. So student, this one is the last question of the day. So definitely regularly I will provide you the videos of the some very good topics. But other than this, if you want to take the classes from our center, then definitely you can call on this number. Our number is 7678572230. Other than this, if you want to visit our website, you may visit our website on the cattutorials.com. And if you want to communicate us with by email, then you can email also. Okay, students, then right now I am concluding today's session, and thanks to all of you.